So, rewriting formulas and equations. I will not make you memorize these equations, so don't stress about that. If we're using them, they will be for you. You can use them on the test quiz, whatever. But what we do have to figure out is how to rewrite these formulas. So right now, the distance formula says distance equals rate times time. Do you know what all those stand for? So the D is distance, the R is rate, and T is time. Distance, rate, time. Okay? And sometimes they might ask you, use the distance formula to solve for time. So you would divide by R and you would have time equals distance over rate. So they're going to ask you to rewrite those in that type of sequence. Temperature. Fahrenheit equals 9/5 times Celsius plus 32. Okay. I think you know what F and C stand for in temperature. Area of a triangle, you guys probably are familiar with this. The area equals a half of the base times height. An area of a rectangle, area equals length times width. The perimeter of a rectangle, perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Area of a trapezoid, I know you guys probably did that last year in geometry. Okay. Area equals 1/2 of base 1 plus base 2 times height. Oops. And then the area of a circle is the area equals pi r squared, r being my radius, and the circumference of a circle is circumference equals 2 times pi times r. So you will have the formulas you need when you're plugging things in. On your homework, you can use all these formulas so that you can plug stuff in. Okay, so that should be a little bit easier for you in that instant. Paul just drops things all day. So we're going to start by solving this formula. It says solve the formula C equals 2 pi r for r. So first we want to solve the formula C equals 2 pi r for r. So how would I rearrange that to get it to say r equals? What would you have to do? How do I do that? How do I get r by itself on that side? Not subtract. What's happening here?
Oh, divide.
I divide. Good. So what am I going to divide by? Just 2 pi. Good. So I divide by 2 pi, and you end up getting C over 2 pi equals R. I've rearranged it. Okay? That's what they want us to start with. So on your homework tonight, they're going to ask you to rearrange a lot of equations like that. Okay? Don't get confused when it's letters. Still do the same order of operations you do. Now it wants us to solve. It says then find the radius of a circle with a circumference of 44. So the circumference equals 44. We want to know what is the radius. How would I do that? Yeah, good. 44 divided by 2 pi equals r. What is 44 divided by 2 pi? That is where you would want your calculator. And I would put the pi button in just to make it more accurate if I'm you. Okay. What? Nope. Did you divide it by 44 divided by 2 pi in parentheses? So you put 44 divide sign, then parentheses, 2 pi. So it should look like this when you put it in your calculator. 44 divided by, what did you get? 7, yes. So it is 7. So the circumference, or the radius of that circle is 7. Good. So don't forget when you are plugging things into your calculator, order matters, okay? Okay.
Do you have to do the pi symbol?
You can do, no, you have to do the pi symbol. You could use 3.14, But if I use the pi symbol, it's going to be more accurate. Do you know how to find the pi symbol on your calculator? Okay. Yeah, you have to do that. You can do 44 divided by 2 and then take that answer and divide it by pi if you want to. That's always a possibility as well, like break it into 2 steps instead of using the parentheses. It's kind of up to you. Okay. Let's say I have this rectangle. Okay, and the rectangle is labeled inside P equals 41 meters. Okay. And the outside says 12 meters and W. Okay. And they say solve for M. Solve for W. Okay, how can I solve for W? What does P stand for on a rectangle? Perimeter. So perimeter means I did what to get my answer? I added all the sides. So I'm going to set up an equation that says 41 equals what? Okay, 12 M is just the unit of measure, meters, so I don't have to do that. Is 12 plus W all 4 sides? So Jason said I need 2, so I need to do 2 times 12, and I need to do 2 times W. What is 2 times 12? I get 41 equals 24 plus 2W. Now how do I solve from there? Subtract 24. What is 41 minus 24? 17. Okay, and then what do I do after that? Divide by 2, and you get W equals what? How many meters? 8.5. So I would put 8.5 meters, and I have my solution. You guys handle doing that? Okay. Let's get some more. Okay, let's try one other one. Let's try a trapezoid. Okay, here's my trapezoid. And I know that this is B1, this is B2, that is my height. And it says, find H if B1 equals 6 inches, B2 equals 8 inches, and the area equals 70 inches squared. So how do I set that up? Good. And then H. Okay, so what is 6 plus 8? 14. And I can do this one of 2 ways. I can multiply both sides by 2, or I could say, what is 1/2 of 14? 7. To me, that's easier. And I get 70 equals 7H. And then I divide by 7, and H would equal 10 inches. And you have to have your units with it. Okay. 2 more examples, and then this lesson is over. Okay. Rewrite a linear equation. What is a linear equation? what type of graph would I get with a linear equation? A line. It's a line. So that means it's probably going to need to end up being in y equals mx plus b form. Okay? So let's say I have 9x minus 4y equals 7. And I want to put this in standard form. Okay? That tells me to put it in standard form. That means I want it in y equals form. Y equals mx plus b. Okay? So how would I go about doing that? What do you need to do first? I want to get y by itself. So what do I want to do first? I want to add 4. Let's start with subtracting something first. Let's start with this. Why don't we move 9x to the other side of the equation so that y is only with 4 over here. So if I move 9x over here, okay, then I get negative 4y equals 7 minus 9x, okay? Now, Cole, you said add 4, but I don't want to add 4 because what is negative 4 doing with y? Is it being added, subtracted to it? It's what? It's not being subtracted. What happens when I have a
It's being
multiplied? So I want to do what with negative 4? I want to divide, yes, because it's being multiplied. So then I get this. Y equals negative 7 fourths. And this is a negative, and that's negative. Negative 9 and negative 4 makes a positive 9 fourths x. Now technically, to be in y equals mx plus b form, these two have to swap. Whatever has the x gets listed first. So if I rewrite it, I have it this way. Now, let's solve this when x equals negative 5. Okay? How would I solve when x equals negative 5? What do I need to do? Yeah, I put negative 5 in for x. So then I have 9 fourths times negative 5 minus 7 fourths. Now, when I'm multiplying a fraction by a whole number, here's what I do. Whatever the large number is gets multiplied by the top. So what's 9 times negative 5? Negative 45. So y equals negative 45 fourths minus 7 fourths. Can I combine those? Do they have the same denominator? Yes. So what is negative 45 minus 7? Negative 52. So I end up getting y equals negative 52 fourths. Can that be reduced? Yes, to what? Or can it divide out evenly? No. You said 13? Negative 13? Yes, negative 13. Okay. That is how you rewrite a linear equation. So we started with rewriting equations with just letters or perimeter or things like that. Rewriting a linear equation, the same rules apply. The same things happen. Let's rewrite a non-linear equation, okay? So rewriting a non-linear equation means that it's going to probably have two variables in it. So 2x plus xy, okay, equals 6. Oops. Rewrite so so that you solve for y. Okay. How would I rewrite this so that I solve for y? What do I need to do first? Here's where my y is, right? Here was where my y was here. So I want to get y by itself, so I want to get everything else to the other side. So what do I start with? 2x, and I'm going to subtract 2x. Good. So that I get xy equals 6 minus 2x. Now what am I going to do? What's happening with this x and y right now? They're multiplied together, so I need to divide by x. So I end up getting y equals 6 over x, and then this x and that x will cancel to give me minus 2. Okay? Now, let's solve it. Let's solve when x equals negative 3. Okay? So I'm going to plug it in. Y equals 6 over negative 3 minus 2. What is 6 divided by negative 3? So negative 2 minus 2 gives me what? Negative 4.